I know what you're thinking. Is this dude about to get on here and talk about some loser nonsense for the next couple of minutes? And I'm here to tell you that what you're thinking is absolutely right. I am going to get on here and tell you some very loser business, okay? So sit down, grab some popcorn, and just sit back and listen to what happened, okay? I'm just gonna talk about it for a second. So yeah, you probably don't know this, but very recently graduated, and I went to my first graduation party just yesterday. I actually went to technically my first party yesterday, because I don't go to parties. I don't like parties like that. I also don't get invited to parties, but even if I did, I also don't like them. So I mean, I guess I got lucky when not getting invited to any, because I probably would have went. So save myself the trouble. But basically, what happened was at this one, it was a graduation party from one of my friends. I got the invite. Now this friend is a very popular friend. It's very popular. So a lot of people were gonna be there off the rip. I knew that already. But what I didn't know was that this party was not only going to be a party full of friends, it was also going to be a party full of family. So that came as a surprise to me when I pulled up. I got there about 20 minutes after, I'd say like 10, 15 minutes after the party started, just learning that the person I was planning to stick around the whole time wasn't actually going to go, so I had to, I had to improvise. So the first thing I did was I sat in my car for 10 minutes and I waited for somebody else to show up to see if I, well, one, got the right date right, because I also at one point did read a party date wrong and make plans to go to that party on the wrong day. I got the month wrong. So I had to make sure just in case. So the first thing I saw was that her family showed up, and well, that came as a surprise to me, but it wasn't that deep. But I did see that they had a present. Now, with that, it scared me a little bit because I didn't think I had to bring a present. Because in my head, it's like, I mean, we're both graduating, so it's like at the same time. So why do I have to bring a present for somebody for somebody that graduated the same amount as me? I didn't get it. I mean, then again, I didn't ask for anything. But she let me know. She said I didn't have to bring anything. But I also a big problem was I saw my classmates show up, and I saw how they pulled up in very nice clothing. There's khaki shorts and a polo T-shirt. You know what I mean? It's like this stuff you see at like a country club. A very not formal, not formal, very casual. It's nice. It's something you'd normally wear to this stuff. And I saw the girls; they had dresses on. They all looked nice. They all had, not all dresses. It's just nice clothing. They all look like nice clothing, like they've been to an event before. They all looked good. And then and then I showed up, and well, I was wearing a gray sweatpants and a Spider-Man hoodie, so right off the rip, I already looked out of place. So that's how that started off. So I was already freaking out because my anxiety is through the roof. All right, it was through the roof on the way there. I always get anxious before events, but now I find out that I'm the only one dressed up like a geek. All right, I don't know, like a homeless person. And so we're off to a bad start. So then I start spamming her, okay, and I'm like, yo, please, come on, you gotta save me, okay, just bring me to the house, greet me, okay, so people know that you know me, okay, so I don't look like a homeless person showing up for free stuff or anything. Just come up and greet me. So she did just that. Now she has a long driveway, so she walked up that. I was like a little bit down the street. I wasn't too far, but I was decently far off. So I came up, I walked up, I was making jokes. I was like, hey, I was gonna give you this present, cause I had $2 in an old arcade game card on me. So I was like, hey, I was gonna give you this. The arcade thing, it had no money on it, so it was like basically useless. And the dollar, it was like a crumpled up dollar. I had $2 in my wallet. I was gonna give her half. Luckily, she let me know that I didn't need to bring her anything, which was a relief. I did feel bad though. I low-key wanted to I felt a little bad that I didn't get her anything. I felt like, but it is what it is. But then after that, I went inside. I see everybody is still all dressed up like they've, been invited to special events before. She brings me to my not my friend, but like we're cool. Like he's probably the only other person there that I'm cool with to an extent where like I'm comfortable, joking around him and not being my nonchalant, serious self. So he comes up, he's laughing, he's like, what's crazy? I would have worn that same thing if I didn't ask what I had to wear before. And I was like, what's crazy? I did ask what I'd had to wear before, but I asked while I was already here for some reason. So this is just what I'm gonna have to wear. So then, I'm hanging out with the guys now. I would have like if it was anybody else's event, I probably would have just stuck around the host, my friend, the entire time. But it was her thing, so I'm not gonna just follow the host around like a puppy. So I had to improvise and go on my own for a bit. By a bit, I mean the whole time. So I walked around with everybody, all the boys, and then we went outside. I was still talking to him, and then his friends showed up. So my free trial kind of ran out. He went to his friends, so I was kind of just standing there. And then I pulled up a chair. I sat down. Two girls from my school showed up. I was gonna make a joke to them. I literally thought of the joke. I was like, oh, I guess I didn't get the memo for the dress code. And then I was like, you know what? No, it's a bad joke. I'm just gonna sit down. But yeah, so I just sat down. I went on my phone. I hunched over. So the Spider-Man panel that was on my back, it was just just showed for everyone to see, which I'm not ashamed of that at all. It's just time and place. So what happened was I just kept on watching them play games. There was cornhole, there was spike ball, there was this ladder ball game. I didn't really get to play any of them because no one wanted to play with me, but it's okay, it's fine. I mean, I did play cornhole though. I played a game of cornhole and I kicked some ass. I will say I did kick some ass. It was like 20 to 5 at one point, and about 18 of those points came for me. I will say I'm a bit of a cornhole demon. We got done that game. I cooked them. We moved on. I kept walking around, drinking my water. I was on my phone a lot. I was laughing to myself, trying to keep myself, afloat. I'm making jokes to myself the most. I crack myself up a lot, so it helps to find yourself funny. So I just kept cracking jokes to myself. And then after that, I just kept walking around. Now, here's the thing with me walking around. I had no idea where I was going. It's not that I was lost in a physical sense. I was just lost in an emotional sense. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know what to say if I did talk to somebody. I was just walking around aimlessly, like a dumbass, like a chicken with his head off. I didn't know what I was doing, bro. I walked inside like 3 times, and I walked right back out. I don't know what I was doing. It was like a revolving door with me. I kept going in and out the house. And then I started to feel bad. Then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go in, and then I'm just gonna, I don't know, do something. I literally went in the house at one point and just had no idea what I was doing. I usually have idle animations, like when I'm just confused. I start fixing my shoes and stuff, but I'm not gonna go inside the house to fix my shoes. That just looks stupid. So there was a pretzel tray at one point. I just went over there and I grabbed one pretzel bite and then left, which just I don't know, it just looked stupid. So I went back outside. I saw everybody around me. They started getting alcohol and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Not everybody was drinking, obviously, but there were some. But not me, because I don't like drinking. So I stay away from that. So I just kept walking around, watching people playing cornhole. I was gonna say, one girl looked at me and started laughing a little bit because how fucking stupid I looked. And then what's it called? We were gonna play cornhole again, another round. We are gonna play another round with just a couple different people, but there was only 3 of us. So they were they went to go and find somebody that could be on my team. They didn't find anyone, so they instead went to go play spike ball. But I stood at the cornhole thing for a little bit too long, and then 3 guys showed up. Now the thing with those 3 guys is when they showed up, I thought they were coming to play with me. Okay, they set up and they started playing. I saw them giving me looks, or just not giving me looks, but just looking in my direction. Then they started playing. They were playing. They got through the round. The one dude was throwing them in my direction, which I guess it wasn't really my direction. I guess it's just the direction that the other player would, be standing in, which just so happens to be where I was standing. They're still giving me looks. He's throwing them. The round ends, and then I guess they kind of just tell me, or they don't tell me. They just say out loud, "Now we gotta wait 10 minutes for blah 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 to show up so that we can finally keep playing." And then I'm like, oh, they're not here to play with me. They're here to play with somebody else. Oh, okay. So I'm not wanted here. But here's the thing. I dropped my water and I moved towards the goddamn cornhole thing. So when they said that, I couldn't just pick up my stuff and go right when they said that, because then it's just awkward. So I was kind of just stuck there. And then their friends showed up, but they're laughing. Their friends showed up, but they're laughing at me, snickering behind, closed doors, texting each other. Come on, bro. I know they were talking about me, because who text? You're 15 feet apart from each other. Who texts somebody that's 15 feet away from them? They were quite obviously talking about me, which is that low-key pissed me off. Because it's like, come on, bro, are you a teenage girl? Like, you can literally just tell me, bruh, just say, hey, we're playing with our friend. I can see you standing there. We're playing with our friend, but if you want to play with us in the next round or something, you could do that. We could do that. Like, that's all you had to say. Or you could just say, hey, we're gonna play with our friend if that's cool with you. I would have just been like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. No, bruh. Instead, you choose to act like teenage girls and start texting each other on some nut shit, texting each other and snickering. Like, come on, bro. You're a grown. It was three of them. The three of you are grown ass men. There's no reason for you to be acting like teenage girls. That was just pathetic. And I wish I would have said something, but I also am glad I didn't, because there's like literally a dozen reasons why I should not have said something. First of all, it's not my party. I shouldn't, like, I'm not gonna cause a scene at somebody else's thing. That's just selfish and stupid. Two, nobody knows me there. Literally nobody knows me there, except for a couple of classmates that know me as that weird kid that likes Spider-Man, and a couple other people, that know me as, like, I don't know, and then there's my friend who's the host, but that doesn't really hold a lot of value when all this family are there, and I think these guys might have been family, I'm not sure. So I kind of don't exactly have a whole lot of power there. I'm kind of, I'm kind of like stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I can't really do much, so I'm at a loss. And plus, there's also kids there. I'm not gonna start a scene when there's kids there. And for the fourth reason, that's just awkward. It would just have been so awkward, and I'm not about to deal with that. I know there's some people that don't care, like, about awkwardness and all that. Like, they just want to get their point across. But, like, you gotta, like, for me, like, it's time and place. I'm not there to make everyone else uncomfortable because of over a cornhole game. Like, yeah, it was really corny for them to do that, and, like, childish, and it's just, like, lame. And, but, like, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, like, waste my time on some losers, bruh. Because all you had to tell me was that we're gonna play with our friend. Because you can see me. Like, I look awkward. Okay, I look like an awkward person, but you could tell that I thought I was gonna be playing. Like, I literally dropped my water and moved towards the thing and was looking at them. Like, I literally looked some of them in the eye, thinking I was about to play. All you had to say was, bro, we're just gonna play with our friend if that's cool. That's all you had to say. And I would have been like, yo, that's cool, man. I'm not gonna, like, fight you just because you don't want to play with me. But if you're gonna be if you're gonna be a bitch about it, then we're gonna have a problem. But I don't know, bro. That was just weird. That was literally the biggest experience that I remember the most. I remember I was telling people after, they were like, I told my one friend, he was like, bro, I would have just left after that. Like, there was no point, there's no reason to stay there. And I'm just like, bro, but I can't leave because, like, I haven't really done anything. I feel weird because, like, this person at this party is my friend, and I like them. I don't want to make them upset. Like, I don't want them to think that I'm not having a good time, because then they're gonna feel like a bad host, and then I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna feel bad. So it's like, I don't want to do that to them. I would hate to make them feel that way. So instead, I just toughed it out, and I just stayed there for their sake. Now, probably they most likely would not have cared or would have understood, but unfortunately, I'm horrible with communicating, so I don't know what they would have thought of, because I didn't tell them about any of this, and I still haven't told them, and I probably will never tell them about any of this. So after that, I continued. After about 20 minutes after they left, or 10 minutes after they left, I stood still for like 20 minutes on my phone watching the spike ball game happen, while I was, like, literally just texting everybody about, like, how, like, I just want to leave. So about 10 minutes after they left, I finally picked up my water, and I just went back to walking around like a dumbass. So then eventually, like, around 8:30, my friend, not my friend, but the guy I'm cool with, he said he was about to leave. He dapped me up, then he dapped up other people, then he came back, I dapped him up one more time, and then I was like, oh wait, you're leaving. Motherfucker, I'ma leave too. So then it looks like I'm not, you know what I mean? So I left, I said bye to my friend, you know what I'm saying? She said, thanks for coming. My dumbass said, you're welcome, for some reason. I don't know. I was like, she said, thanks for coming. And then I, like, started stuttering. I was like, you're welcome? And then I just, like, I don't know, but I made a face like I was confused. And then we both made the faces that of, like, what the fuck did you just say? And then I just left. I was like, wait, I'm gonna go, because, like, I didn't know anyone there. I literally said, all right, well, I don't know anybody else here, so I'm not gonna say bye to anyone else. I'm gonna go. And then I said the you're welcome thing, and then I just left. And I went back to my truck. I stood in my truck for about, like, 10 minutes, not really, like, wanting to leave. I was like, I was reflecting because I felt bad. I didn't want, like, I was worried. Obviously, I'm 1,000% sure she didn't care, but I was worried that she was like, somewhat thinking that I didn't have a good time and it was her. I don't know why. I overthink a lot, so that's why I thought that. I'm like 1,000% sure that is not what was going through her head. But yes, I was kind of just thinking like, damn, like, oh my God, this is my fault. Why did I do that? I was so antisocial and I could have done so much more. Man, I felt like I kind of just showed up, did nothing. I didn't even have a present. I had nothing to give her. I messed up. But it is what it is. After that, I didn't even want to go home. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to go home after that. I literally felt like so like bad about I was like so down in the dumps, bruh. I didn't even want to go home. I instead I went to Barnes and Nobles, all right, and I was gonna go browse. I was just gonna go browse some books and comic books and all of that, but unfortunately they were closed, so I couldn't do that. Instead, I went to Target and I just walked around for like 40 minutes, killing time because my dad, he said I had to be home by 11. I left at 8:30, so I had like 2-3 hours to kill. Instead, I went to Target. I was gonna go watch that new How to Train Your Dragon, but the next showing was at like 9:40, and that meant like that would have gone on for like I would have been home after 12, and I was already like kind of tired, so I didn't really want to do that. I kind of just wanted to go home. I didn't feel like staying up till 12 o'clock, especially for a movie that I've really seen already. I mean, it's How to Train Your Dragon, but live action. So instead, I went to Target and I walked around for like 40 minutes. I saw some. Hey man, I was doing some browsing for not just materials. I saw some girls there. And you know what I did? Absolutely nothing. I did the same thing I did at the party. I just kept it pushing because I don't do that. You know why? Because I'm not up for a relationship right now. I am emotionally unavailable in terms of relationships. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bad news bears, but that's just how it is. I have my reasons. I have my reasons. Now that's not saying if a girl approached me, I would say no. Hint hint. If you are my type, hit me up. But if you're not my type, don't hit me up. What is my type exactly? I guess we'll never know. I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to see y'all later. One thing to take from this is be careful at parties. Socialize more. Don't be like me when it comes to parties. Be social. Put yourself out there. Or else you'll be like me, awkward as a bitch, and looking real stupid. Alright. Put yourself out there. Try and talk to people. Okay, because if you don't do that, you're just gonna ruin your own experience, and no one wants that. Don't be like me. Don't be antisocial. Just put yourself out there. Say fuck it. Now, obviously, it's pretty easy for me to say because I know my ass is not gonna do that. But it's easy to put advice out there for other people because there's some easy listeners out there that will do whatever somebody says. So if you're at a party and you're by yourself, just put yourself out there. Try it out. If you don't like it, just leave. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And don't come back because you never know. You might not see them ever again. Especially if you don't see them ever again. That's when you should definitely put yourself out there. Because if you say something stupid, what are they gonna do? They're gonna tell all their friends about it? You don't know them. Who cares? Obviously, I mean, I should probably follow my own advice, but I'm not gonna do that. Also, another thing, if you see somebody at a party that looks as awkward and shy as me, go up to them and talk to them because 99% of the time, they are just too scared to go out of their way and do it. Just give them a chance. And if they're weird, you kick them out because we don't want no weirdos. But if they're cool and they're just nervous talking to people, just give them a chance, man. Play some cornhole. I thought I was gonna be the star of the night after that cornhole game. I thought I was gonna be the star after I dominated that. I thought everybody was gonna be lining up to be on my team so I could carry them to some victories. I thought we were gonna have like a damn tournament, and then I was gonna come out on top. They're gonna bring a trophy out to me, and then boom, I was gonna go home a victor. But instead, I went home a loser. So that's it. That's that. That's the video. I think I said that like 3 times already, but I think this time I'm actually going to end it. I'm gonna catch you guys later. See you. Love you. Bye. Subscribe.